What do we have for Sag? Five of Pentacles, Taurus energy at the foundation of the reading. Sag, I feel like you are entering into a season of your life where it almost feels as though reality has been flipped upside down. I feel that any struggle you may have been going through to succeed at something or just stabilizing yourself in general has either come to or is quickly coming to an end. And what you are really starting to notice is a very clear example of individuals that may have been in and around your life that didn't support you through these struggles. Maybe they weren't there for you when you needed somebody to help you out or show you the way or give you some solid advice. And what you are starting to see now is this perfect example of what it truly means when people take shortcuts to attain success and when people do it the right way. I feel that whatever you are going toward, you have done it the right way. You've taken your time. You have grinded day in and day out in regards to this space. And now you are beginning to see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's very much one of these situations where you have taken all this time to get to something, and when you finally get there, all of those who took the shortcuts are beginning their descent downward. You know, this is very biblical, what I'm picking up here, and this is a story as old as time. And having said that, Sag, I feel that you often find yourself in thought about how your life has become that of a kind of prophecy. There's something unique here. There's something about you and your community, Sag. Now, this could just speak about your family, your friends, but people learning a lesson from you, people seeing how you have done something and starting to really get a clearer understanding that the only way to truly win and be able to keep it, or rather have it stand the test of time, is to do things the right way. Now, this Five of Pentacles, right there at the foundation of the reading, is really picking up on this opposing energy. The people that may not have been there for you, they may find themselves exactly in the energy that you have since graduated on from. It's all a part of their lesson now. And this isn't to say that we wish bad upon anyone. When I speak about people's karma, it's never to wish bad upon anyone. Karma is just an opportunity for people to learn how to grow and develop. And it's the necessary protocol to be able to get individuals back in alignment with the divine's true will for their life. It's simply the universe scolding these individuals, if you will, in order to get them to move the right way. What do we have at the sacral, please? Four of Wands, Aries energy at the sacral. So here you are coming up in this Four of Wands energy, Sag. There just seems to be a sense here where I feel that you have a lot of celebration, a lot to look forward to. And it's at that sacral position, which is really speaking about your creativity, quite possibly passion projects as well, something of the like. So place that as it fits. But there seems to be a level of excitement in regards to whatever this is. You know, this is also one of these energies, Sag, Five of Pentacles, followed by the Four of Wands, where people are going to have to see you winning now. And again, just to be clear, it's not that you need to show people up, but this is something I always speak about. That statement, God will prepare a table for you in front of your enemies, is exactly what I have right here. And this is a part of the karmic consequences to get people back in alignment with their destined path. You know, there's a heavy energy that I'm picking up here as well, intuitively, Sag, in regards to people that were not only not there for you when you needed a helping hand, but these people made things more difficult for you. Not only did they watch you fall, so to speak, but they went back and gave you a swift kick as well, threw some dirt on you. I'm also hearing something about destabilizing you, making it difficult for you to even get up. And I feel that a lot of what I'm beginning to pick up here has to do with areas of your life where you didn't even expect it. It's almost as if the sabotage was so deep and so layered that there would have been no possible way to even prepare for this. Now, I just heard something about going for your hierarchy of needs, right? So just a complete destabilization of one's life. Okay, I'm hearing something about affecting your friendships, affecting your romantic relationships. I feel that based on what I'm picking up here, this was something that was conducted by people that were close to you. I just heard detailed plan. You know, it's interesting when I'm getting here, Sag, because whatever happened to you, whatever caused this fall, I actually don't even think you would have had the fall. I feel that it was a meticulous plan in order to make it seem like you were just doing something wrong, like you just didn't have it right. You didn't know what you were doing. You were living life wrong. But there was something far more sinister going on behind the scenes without your knowledge. Yeah, I just heard an active campaign. I don't know why they're giving me this example, but it should be simple enough to allow you to understand what I'm picking up here. But it's like you go and apply to rent a new home, and you put some references down on your application. And there's really no good reason why you would have been rejected. Your credit's fine, everything's looking good, you have a job, you have the income needed to get the place. But without your knowledge, one or maybe two of those references that were quite possibly close friends or family members were sabotaging you behind the scenes. So when the rental agency called to get a good reference on you, they gave a bad reference on you as a way to pull the rug out from underneath you. Now, that's very general, but that's the example they wanted me to give here, okay? And all the while, you have no clue that any of this is going on. You just keep getting rejected left and right in regards to whatever it is, because little did you know, there were snakes in your circle the entire time. What do we have at the solar plexus, please? Wow. 7 of Swords, so we are right on the money here, okay? If there was going to be one card in the entire tarot that represented snakes in your circle, it would be the 7 of Swords, okay? And Sag, I feel something trying to stop me from extracting this message, but I feel that now that this card has come out and we've received the strongest confirmation you can possibly get in regards to a message like this, it's too late. They've been exposed. The 7 of Swords here is an energy that speaks about individuals that were doing things without your knowledge. It's a very sneaky, underhanded energy, and it's an energy of complete betrayal and deception. You know, a lot of you have already moved on from these particular dynamics, but I will tell you based on my own experience that you never quite fully move on. And what I mean by this is the universe will give you little pieces of information spread out over many, many years. You could wake up one day, several years detached from these dynamics, and you just have an epiphany about something. You all of a sudden put some pieces together. Something that you didn't see before, all of a sudden you see it clearly now. That's the universe dropping a download to you while you're sleeping. And I just heard pride comes before exposure, and exposure is already underway. Now, I feel that you're one of these people that has always attracted people who cheat to win, right? People who will sell their soul, so to speak, to get that success overnight. And they'll throw anybody under the bus in order to do it. The illusion of success without substance. These are people who didn't earn what they had. They stole it, faked it, or cheated their way to get it. And because they didn't build it correctly, they couldn't hold it. And so it's beginning to all crumble. They've invested more energy into sabotaging others than they did into sustaining their own success. See, starting to pick up on this very frustrated energy here now. What I'm picking up are individuals who stepped on people's skulls to get to where they were. And when they got to the very tippy top, they put all their time and energy into making sure that they kicked everybody in the face who ever tried to climb up there as well. That's where all their focus was. And the entire time, they were being watched by the divine. Divine was just taking notes. And you know, it really depends on the person and the level of deceit. But when karma unfolds in individuals' lives who do these kinds of things to people, there's something different about it, right? I'm picking up on two different dynamics here. And this could speak about different people in this sort of circle of snakes that you have since disconnected from. But the first one I'm picking up on are individuals who gain all their success in nefarious ways. And when the wheel of karma begins to turn, not only does the divine take it from them slowly, so it's almost unnoticeable, they don't even really feel like anything is happening, but something happens to their minds as well. They become the literal illusion that they tried to cast into people's lives. That mask that they wore, it's like it's stuck on their face now. They can't get it off. And the divine will rewire their mind to think that people don't notice it when everybody sees it on them. It's like they have been marked. These are the kinds of individuals who use psychological warfare to get to where they are. So their karma will put them in a position of experiencing what that psychological warfare actually looks like from the other side, what it feels like to be a victim of their own deception. It's like saying, it's not so fun when you're on the other side of this, is it? And then the other one I was picking up on, this might have to do with family members or people who are maybe a bit older than you, who may have put you through these struggles. But these people, these are like the kings and queens of the narcissists. They don't get their karma until, I heard before the reading, in their 70s, right? It's like they've gotten to that point in their life where they should just be relaxing and enjoying their life. But now they have to deal with the repercussions of the things they did in their past. And that kind of karma is reserved for the world's most diabolical narcissists. It's almost as if there's something Saturnian going on there. Now, I believe that you get your third Saturn return in your 80s. Your second one is in your 60s, but it really depends on an individual's chart. But whatever the case, the message is, Sag, that no one is exempt. Not you, not me, no one. And these people, they actually think they are. They think they're above God. And not only are these some of the most dangerous individuals around, because they truly think that they are the center of the universe and make all the rules, but these are also the people that are used by the divine to make examples out of. The Seven of Swords right here at the solar plexus is an energy that wanted to keep you down, like I said, stepping on skulls, kicking people down, making sure people stay beneath them. It's an energy that wants you to feel completely inferior, powerless to them. And I feel for a lot of you, this went so deep, like I mentioned, to where you didn't even know this was what was taking place. It was all happening behind the scenes, so to speak, like a silent sabotage. That really says it all, silent sabotage. But where you're headed to, Sag, is a timeline where you're becoming everything they tried to block because you held the light. You also held the line. A lot of these attacks you endured without even knowing you were really being attacked. You just felt like something was off. This was before the illumination took place. I also feel that a lot of you are looking back on your path, like I mentioned, when you have those epiphanies, and you're starting to see things a lot clearer now. You're starting to see certain dynamics in a completely different way now. It's like having a realization that, no, it wasn't something you did wrong to miss out on something, but it was actually taken from you by way of sabotage. What do we have at the heart, please? Wheel of Fortune at the heart, Sag, that is your energy. So follows everything I just said perfectly. Because when I just said that you are becoming everything they tried to block, the Wheel of Fortune is a perfect representation of that. Okay, this is where the timelines begin to shift. And this Wheel of Fortune is a little different than the other Wheel of Fortunes because it almost looks like the wheel hasn't begun to turn yet. So it's like they tried to stop your destiny. They tried to get in the way of it, which isn't even possible. Sure, they can slow you down. They can steal time away from you, but they cannot stop what's destined for you. In fact, when the wheel does begin to turn, the acceleration becomes so intense that the divine just catches you up to where you would probably already had been had they not have gotten in your way. I'm hearing something about you building silently. Okay, so just when people thought you were gone, you were done and dusted, that there was no hope for you. Maybe you went into hermit mode. Maybe you just disappeared for a while. Whatever it was, you're in this season now where you're showing signs of life. People are looking back, starting to realize that you had been building in silence the entire time. And I just heard, real builders don't destroy others to get ahead. Only frauds do that. Sag, I feel that there's been multiple times throughout your life where you have been on the precipice of some sort of breakthrough. You've had something that has felt like it's just evaded you year after year, making you feel like, again, you're just doing something wrong or it's just not meant to be. But there's been this silent war taking place. This is what this is all about now. Not only is the divine going to catch you up to where you should have already been by now, but it's going to be so much better. There's going to be more detail to it. You see, when people do these kinds of things to other individuals, there's a lot that has to take place behind the scenes in order to realign you with your destiny. It's like somebody taking something from you in a nefarious way And now the divine has to realign you with different outcomes, different possibilities, different opportunities as a means to get you back to that space or to align you with another space that brings you the same, if not more. And those individuals who got in your way are going to get the bill, so to speak, for all that extra spiritual manpower that takes place behind the scenes to reorganize life and the different timelines and all the complexities that go along with it to bring you back, or to give you, rather, what is yours. And that bill, well, that's karma. That's how this works. Somebody's got to pay that bill for the spiritual manpower, and it's certainly not going to be you. It's going to be them. And it's so interesting how these people move, because you would think that they would have some awareness of this, that they would be worried that maybe this could happen. But these people have a broken way of thinking. All of their actions and the way they move can certainly be attributed to the devil. There's something very demonic about all of this. But these are the same people that will tell you God doesn't exist. These are also the same people that will one day find themselves rocking back and forth in a corner, talking to themselves, clenching tightly to a crucifix. Like I said, we don't wish them harm. We wish them healing. And unfortunately, sometimes this is the path to healing. What do we have at the throat, please? The path to healing, and what do we get? Temperance, which is your energy, Sag. Okay. Now, this temperance card is coming right out at the throat. I feel that you have shown a lot of these people compassion. I feel that you were, by all accounts, good to these people, whether they were friends or family members. I feel that you are one of these people that wants to see everybody win. And I also feel that you're one of these people that has most likely put other people before yourself first. You're not anymore because you've seen where that got you, but you have come from a timeline where you did this. I just heard so clearly Cinderella and the Wicked Sisters, right? I haven't spoken about that one in a really long time, but a really perfect example. Whether you're a male or a female, you just always believed in doing things the right way. Even when it seemed like doing the right thing was more difficult than just taking a quick shortcut. You didn't falter. You strike me as somebody who may make a mistake doing something, and then you quickly adjust your approach or your route or something of the like. You've also learned how to practice self-control, which is the trait of a high vibrational Sag. You know, Sages that are in their shadows will be bad alcoholics. They'll be drug addicts. They'll be very promiscuous, just really out there in the streets. But that's not who I'm reading for today. But having said that, that's what they wanted you to become. See, your worst enemies that you will ever face in your life, Sag, are always going to try and extract the low vibrational traits of your zodiac sign. Because when they're able to do this, then they can take complete control over you and your life, however that shows up for you and whoever that may be. So think about that. Who is it on your path, or maybe even still in your life for some of you? Some of you just may be starting out on this journey, beginning to have an understanding of all of this. But have a think about the people in your life and whether they bring out the good in you or the bad in you, right? How do you feel when you're around these people? Because it's very important that you begin to take this seriously and also understand, right? Like the saying, we are the average of the 5 closest people to us, right? This is also very true. That influence is incredibly important. You know, a lot of you are going through all of this because those are things that don't interest you. You've taken the path of the black sheep, which is what all of us at some point in our life are faced with doing. Breaking away from the societal norms, from the expectations of those who may have come before us. Generational karma. Or just allowing people to place you inside of a box of who they think you should be and what you should be doing, who you should be becoming. I'm also hearing something about individuals trying to give you advice in areas of your life regarding paths that they have never been down themselves. Pay attention to this. What do we have at the third eye? Too many cards. What do we have at the third eye, please? Lovers at the third eye. And I just saw the 6 of Wands and the Star card. Okay, so The Six of Wands I just saw speaks about a personal triumph. I feel like there's some sort of victory coming through for you. And we also saw that Star card, which is you being in the spotlight. Now, the spotlight could just speak about you and your own reality, right? You finally arrive at the space that you have been trying to manifest into your life, whatever that may be. Now, they didn't want me to take the Six of Wands and the Star card because I only needed one card. But there is a message in seeing those cards and then putting them back. It's telling me it's in the energy, but it's not here yet, okay? Which leads perfectly into the Lovers. Now, the Lovers for a spread like this is speaking about your connection to your higher self and spirit, okay? And there's the sword of victory and the sword of mental clarity, mental strength. So this is something that you are working up to. There seems to be, I just heard, there's a realization of certain dynamics right now, which are all culminating, creating some sort of awareness inside of you, which is going to allow the tides to shift. And that Lover's card came out at the third eye, which is speaking about your intuition and also being able to see beyond, right? Beyond the veil, beyond the material world. There's information that is coming to you directly from source and the divine, intuitively speaking, which is what you are to use to navigate these situations at this time. I also feel that you are being given very clear visions where you're going to be going and what it is you're going to be doing. The divine really wants you to have faith and to follow the blueprint that they are trying to lay out to you meticulously. I just heard very clearly, do not give up, keep going, you're going to make it there. I feel that things are beginning to crystallize for you in these moments of illumination and clarity by way of these downloads and these intuitive messages you're receiving from source. I also feel that your higher self is dropping knowledge on you, right? The apple right there. What do we have with the crown, please, Spirit? Two of Wands, Aries energy at the crown. So as we can see in both of these cards, there's a second figure, and I feel that that second figure is representing your higher self, your guidance, the divine spirit, the higher power that is working in your life right now to get you aligned to this new timeline. Now, the Two of Wands is speaking about some sort of future plan, like we've been picking up here, right? Like I mentioned, the divine needs you to follow the blueprint meticulously. And they're really doubling down on that message here as well. It's like the divine saying to you, okay, do you see things now from a higher perspective? This is where we're trying to get you, okay? But this is what you have to go through to get there. But you just need to have faith and trust us. You're going to get there. Don't give up. Don't allow these energies to distract you or steer your focus. The only way that they can ever harm you is if they get to you enough to where you self-sabotage. And that's really how the devil works, right? The devil works in this meticulous way as to go unnoticed. It's very incremental. So it seems like it's all you, or you're just doing something wrong. But all the while, there's this sneaky Seven of Swords behavior going on behind the scenes. And this is what is being shown to you right now. You know, we always hear about people trying to steal one's destiny, right, in these communities. And this is really a perfect example of it. And how this is made possible, right? It's not magic. It just comes in the way of overwhelming distractions and sabotage. So you're not able to align with that particular timeline. And you're not able to show up in that allocated position when the divine needs you there. See, it's always a case of detours, right? That's all they can do is just send you down the wrong path before you finally realize, oh, crap, I've just gone down the wrong path for the past 10 years. Now you have to make your way back and you have to go down the right path. And this is when you start to have a kind of awakening take place in your life, and that there was something nefarious going on behind the scenes there for you to take that detour to begin with. Page of Swords, Knight of Swords, Knight of Wands, Four of Cups. There's a lot of people with their eyes on you right now, Sag. People are just, they're taking notes. They're just watching for your next move. Knight of Swords. I also feel that you're just starting to see that a large portion of your life has been spent around people or situations that caused you to be subjected to different kinds of, it's like deliberate cruelty, just individuals that had a complete disregard for you, your life, and your happiness. You may also be in that season of your life right now where you're starting to put this all together. Like, how could they do that? Or how could they want that for me? Why? What did I ever do to deserve that? Nothing. You didn't do anything to deserve that. It just comes down to who you are and what it is you're meant to do on your path, Sag. Okay, there's something far deeper going on here. And you're not going to figure it out by limiting yourself to the everyday grind of life, because that's not where the answers are. This is something deeply spiritual. There's principalities that are influencing the situation. You are a piece of a movement. You are a piece of a collective wave of transformation. You are evolution. And with that in mind, you have to understand that there's forces at play in every given moment that are working to create resistance against the evolutionary energies that walk this world. Some people call this a chosen one, but it goes far beyond labels. It's not even about that. It just is. It's just energy. But if we really want to extract a nice, simple message, it would be that there's, again, things that you're just meant to do in this life cycle, Sag. And there's energies that are out to stop that from happening. Doesn't matter how young you are. Doesn't matter how old you are. Doesn't matter if you're rich. Doesn't matter if you're poor. Doesn't matter if you live in a beautiful house or you're homeless, living out of your car. None of this matters, okay? The energy is the energy. What do we have at the foundation, please? Wow. The star, Gype. So we saw the star card on the bottom of this deck up here, and now we're seeing it from this deck. So this star card is red in its shadow, okay? This is an energy that wants you to be ignored. It's an energy that wants you to be stuck in depression, right? You know, if there was a card that represented being homeless, living out of your car, or whatever it is, it's the Five of Pentacles, okay? This is an energy of poverty, okay? It's an energy of lack. Stacked with the star card, it's like that's where people wanted you to be, because it makes it more difficult to find your way to where the divine needs to get you, right? See, that's all they can do is to stabilize you. Like I mentioned, the hierarchy of needs. They can try and impact your relationships, the basic needs, your finances, but they can't take your spirit away. And as long as you have that spirit, as long as you stay strong and you hold on to your faith, the divine will pull you through it. You know, speaking about, I think it was the Libra reading about the spiritual walk-in, right? It's like when you hold on to faith, and it's similar to what I'm getting here. It's like a guide, spirit, the divine comes and lifts you up, takes the steering wheel in your life, so to speak. You know, sometimes we just have to let go and let God, right? Like we always hear, and this is very true to life. But at the end of the day, no man can take what is meant for you. Yes, they may be able to delay it, but ultimately, if you keep fighting for what's right and for your life and your happiness, you'll get it. Oh, yes, you will. See, they're betting on you giving up. They're betting on you just throwing in the towel, surrendering. Because let's face it, it's not easy. This is very difficult. And the star card from this deck, whenever I see it, it's like this demon is saying, go ahead and hand over that purpose to me, Sag. You won't be needing that. I'll go ahead and take that now. See, they get you in this energy here, which is the energy they're in now or entering into, right? And then when you're in that energy, that's when they come along and they say, all right, go ahead and hand it over, Sag. Don't try and fight. Just stay down. What do we have, the sacral, please? Nine of Wands, Sag, that is your energy at the sacral. And this is perfect card to get to follow everything I just said, because this is really speaking about your resilience. And this is the card that speaks about you persisting forward despite any setbacks, your faith being tested right now, and your determination, your stamina, your courage being the key to all of this. For those of you that are still entertaining these energies that I'm picking up on, it's time you put up some boundaries, okay? Or just, I would suggest a complete cutoff, especially when we're getting a message here which very much seems like you choosing between your happiness and your life and your destiny and these people who don't want anything good for you. And of course, it sounds like the obvious answer to that would be, well, I'm going to choose me and my destiny. But sometimes it's not that easy, especially when this is family, friends, because these people will gaslight you, right? They'll try to tell you you're going crazy, you're overthinking things, what's wrong with you? You're losing it. And that's also a part of this process. But no, you see things clearly. You may question yourself, and that's okay. It's a normal part of this process. But there will be a point further down the path when you look back and you'll say, man, not only was I right, the things that I questioned, I was actually right about as well. What do we have at the sacral, please? Eight of Swords, Gemini energy, right underneath that Seven of Swords at the solar plexus. So these individuals put traps all around your life. No matter where you turned, what you tried, it was like you would fall into some sort of pit. And you would have to start all over again, metaphorically speaking. I'm also hearing something about sabotage in the 11th hour, right? Thinking when something's going to happen for you. You're going to get some sort of breakthrough and boom, it's gone. This could very well come down to the simple fact that you shared your moves with people. You'll be surprised what you can accomplish in your life when you break path and go it alone. You're the only one making the calls. You're the only one with the power to decide how you're going to be moving. Not only do you get to know yourself like you've never known yourself before, but this is when you really start sifting through the rubble of your life, seeing what works and what doesn't work. And you'll be throwing out a lot more than you ever intended and replacing it with useful tools and direct guidance from source that is going to see massive movement in your life. The Eight of Swords speaks about all of that, but it also tells us that none of this can be forced upon you. You have the power to remove yourself whenever you want. Like I mentioned earlier on in the reading, the devil can only get you to sabotage by way of the things he does incrementally through these people, right? Behind the scenes that create the disruptions in your life. But at the end of the day, you hold the power, and you always have. You can liberate yourself in a moment's notice. What do we have at the heart, please? Nine of Pentacles, Virgo energy at the heart, making mistakes. Okay, so there's some energies here, Sag, that I feel are going to try and get back in your energy now that you are starting to have this wheel turn, right? You're starting to see movement. You're starting to see success. It's very clear now that this is what is preparing to come into your life, if it hasn't already. And these individuals are like, I didn't know. I just made a mistake. I didn't know any better. See how he's sitting on what looks like a pile of tricks, right? He's got a unicorn horn on. He sort of has this look to him like, I didn't know, Sag. Don't be mad at me. He's got a trumpet there, saxophone, and those are just really representing the tools that they used, right, to try and trick you, fool you, the things they used to create setbacks on your path. This is an energy that took advantage of you, and they knew what they were doing when they did it. But they're going to come back and try and use these gaslighting techniques against you because just maybe you'll fall for it, right? But no, you're not going to fall for it. Eight of Cups, Pisces energy, transformation. You're withdrawing. You've learned your lessons. See, they're not used to this version of you. They're not used to the version of you that actually stays gone, that says no. The Eight of Cups also represents people coming back from the past. These people don't know you. You've become somebody completely different. You've really become everything that they fear. And what that is a more empowered version of yourself. And although that is incredible, there's a sadness to that as well, because you never knew that you had to do all this, that you had to be this strong around these people, that you had to watch your back. You never, ever would have expected it from them. And that's what hurts the most. It's a pain that you learn to live with. You never quite understand it. And you'll find yourself thinking back on the times you had with these people, maybe being nostalgic, but you always wind up in the same place, realizing that the memories you have of these people, well, they're really memories you have of people that never existed because they were wearing a mask the entire time. They're just fictitious characters that were created to sustain you in a timeline that was based around lies, manipulation, and gaslighting. What do we have at the throat, please? Perfect. Ace of Swords. Air energy at the throat, right underneath that Temperance card. Perfect illustration, because here you are, right? You're wielding this sword now. Right there it is. The sword. And then here they are. Oh, please, Sag, please. I didn't mean to. And though you don't wish these people bad, in fact, pray for your enemies, because it's that prayer that could quite possibly accelerate transformation in their life. But you can't forget, and a lot of the times, well, I think all of the times when it comes to situations like this, the best way to love people is by simply not having them in your life. It's not so much about them. It's more about the universal structure of how the divine works in all our lives. See, through all of this, you've attained a very strong, very special connection with Source and Spirit, which is all over this reading. And it's given you a different set of tools to work with. You have a far different opinion of what love is now. And by default, this allows you to interface with your reality much differently. You begin to look at the individuals as limited, but still under the universal structure of it all. And you just get out of the way and allow the universe to do what it does and work in their life. You know, I'm hearing that in quite a number of these cases here, you have to move completely out of the way and focus on your path to allow these individuals to go through karmic consequences that help realign them and calibrate them with the divine's will for their life, whether it's in this lifetime or not. In some cases, it won't be. But when you look at things from a multi-life cycle process, then it begins to make a lot more sense. You know, this Temperance stacked with this Ace of Swords, this is an energy of, well, it's like tough love, isn't it? And it's right there at the throat, okay? So again, they're not used to this version of you. This is what they had in mind, right? Just talking to yourself on a street corner. Six of Swords, Aquarius energy at the third eye. Perfect. Now, the Six of Swords here is speaking about your rite of passage. It's an energy of you finally moving beyond the pain of this situation. Now, there is a message here about relocation or moving, travel as well. That could be relevant for some of you. But it speaks more energetically. You're just moving through this cycle here. What do we have to close out the reading, please, Spirit? Four of Cups, Cancer energy at the crown. It says right here, healing capacity, protection from weapons, which is basically just a short version of saying, no weapons that form against me shall prosper. And then it says safety in travel. So follows this Six of Swords perfectly. And you know, the Two of Wands is an energy of making travel plans. So travel plans, all right here, okay? So take that as it makes sense with your path, but you are a Sag, so you are constantly on the move or feel like you need to make moves, which is exactly how it should be in your life anyway. That's what your archetype represents, movement. Now, the Four of Cups here is really speaking about some sort of new direction that I feel you're going to be going in here. Now, there could be some new opportunities that you're going to be presented with to Sag that's quite strong in this energy, but this is all a result of this, right? It's like this is the outcome of all of this. This is what you've had to fight for. Now you've arrived. And I just heard their downfall was their own desire to be seen. So I feel that that could really speak about some of these individuals that you have been dealing with. In closing, Sag, I would just like to say that this reading is a masterclass on a life well lived and a success well deserved. So enjoy what you have coming to you. All right, Sag, this is what I have for all of you. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications. And if you would like to support my channel, there are a few different ways that you can go about doing so. Donations are always greatly appreciated, and I would like to extend my gratitude to everybody who continues to donate to my channel. You can also join the membership side of my channel for $2.99 a month, where I upload additional videos. You can visit my online store. All the links are down below. It's filled with tons of things that I have designed and created myself. There's a lot of really great items there that I'm really proud of. Information for personal readings can also be found down below. And lastly, if this reading resonated with you, drop me a heart and/or comment, and I'll talk to you all again soon. Take care.